ready? You ready? You ready? That's good. Pretty good. I guess I was just thirsty, so it tastes pretty good either way. It's LaCroix carbonated water. I know. Tangerine flavor. It's fine. I know it's free, so went to a party or something and there was extra left over, so I took a couple. Although this flavor is better than the other flavor I took. The other flavor was lemon, so I was like, oh yeah, lemon, that'll be good. It was lemon cream pie, like carbonated water. That was absolutely disgusting. I gave it an honest shot. I got like a third of the way through the bottle. Well, can. Sorry, not bottle, can. I got a third of the way through the can and I was just like, I cannot finish this. Just had to get rid of it. Congrats on finishing Dead Space. Domino's is pretty good, yeah. I'd say Domino's is pretty good. Our family liked to do pizza stuff, so we ate at pretty much every single pizza place. Like all the main ones and then like a lot of local ones. Domino's is pretty up there. Yeah. What'd you get for the side? Okay. Yeah, I finished moving all my stuff off the backlog Google Doc and onto the spreadsheet backlog thing. Garlic bread pizza. Okay. So now I just have to go through my entire Steam library and make sure all that's on the backlog, and also go through my physical library and make sure that stuff's on the backlog so I can actually get through it. I think next year I want to focus on getting through some of my physical library so I can get rid of a couple of things. Because there's a few games that I want to play through once, and then I think I can get rid of them, or just want to try, and then I can get rid of them, you know? I got a lot of stuff. I got to get rid of some of it so I can make room for new stuff, or just have a little less clutter. So, yeah. I had to get more like storage bins recently for the boxed games or whatever, you know, like the full size like DVD boxes or whatever. Okay, let me go ahead and get the game started in a minute. But yeah, I'm running out of space even to put the bins, so gotta get rid of some stuff.
This program is brought to you by the following
gotta make it
sponsors.
Look for Arena, not Yakuza, a minute. Yes.
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Yeah, I think today we try and get through everybody besides the MC and Elizabeth, and then on Thursday we can get through both of them and finish out the Arena plotline and start on the Ultimax. So, debating whether to go through this way or this way to the toaster. Yeah, we could do the toaster first, or we could do the toaster last. Whatever. We'll just do the toaster first, I guess. Continue from cliffhanger, please.
Lapras?
That body. You can't be.
I am the same as you. 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. Aegis. I am the model that came after you.
Yeah, we gotta skip some cutscenes as well.
Are you here, Caesar? I won't let you. Not when I'm almost free. Tell her, Lapras. Or do you want to be caught and locked in a cramped little box again?
Oh, that's right. Yosuke is here because this is technically kind of the same timeline as the Yosuke thing. It's a little funky. Yeah, whatever.
No, don't get me wrong. I was just a little surprised.
I guess there's like, you could map it out of like the different timelines because it seems like Yosuke and Aigis are on the same timeline until you get to this point, and they kind of diverge based off of who wins the next fight. Same with like the other P3 characters that you fight with the starting people, it seems like.
No, it's okay. That's how a normal person would react.
I won't let you take her back. I will gain my freedom, whatever it takes.
Oh, she just grabbed Labrys and ran.
Wait!
Right, okay.
Persistent pests. Too bad for you. The Grand Prix is still on. Have fun wasting time fighting each other.
Hey, wait! Ow, whoa! I guess this means we have to fight. Sorry, I feel like I got in your way.
I am also sorry for all this.
Huh?
We are the ones ultimately responsible for this incident. I am sorry to have dragged you all into it. If your friends are safe, I would suggest you evacuate at once. But in these circumstances, I must go after her.
There's no need for you to take the blame. I mean, I feel the same about wanting to go after her.
Why? I'm not sure this concerns you.
I promised I'd protect her, but I couldn't back her up when she needed me the most. So, like, I want to apologize and actually keep my promise this time. I feel like I can't leave her alone right now.
I think I should explain certain things to you. I'm not authorized to disclose everything, but...
There are shadows outside the TV too? Who would have thought?
I was surprised as well, to find out that a world like this was accessible through televisions.
Believe me, we were pretty shocked last year too. Can you tell me something? What's going to happen to Labrys once you catch her?
I cannot answer that.
Yeah, I thought so. You did say that she was a weapon after all. Not really surprised you can't talk about it with outsiders.
That looks slightly different. Pretty similar to Yosuke's, but slightly different.
Is that all? I must go get her back. If you cooperate with me, I am sure I can knock you out painlessly.
Sorry, but I can't back down.
Are you really going to fight me? Not to boast, but you would challenge a living weapon?
She said she wanted to be free. Hey, I made her a promise. I want to see it through. I guess you could say it's a guy pride thing?
I understand. I accept your challenge.
Yeah, the story's taking me a lot longer to get through than I thought with a fighting game. Well, not a bad thing. We'll just go until we're done.
Finally.
Do some fighting against some online matches, get my butt kicked probably.
Alright, damage! Fight! Alright!
Okay, there we go.
Dash! Heavy damage now! Heavy light damage! Now!
Just getting started!
Damage! Heavy damage! Severe impact! Heavy damage!
Heavy damage.
I must simply right my feet! Right there! Damage! Go!
Still not bad!
Go! Please hit! Damage! Dash! Please hit!
Well, it hit. Okay.
I had a feeling I didn't have a chance against a pro like you. Ow. You sure are strong, Aige-san.
Are you all right?
Looks like I'll be staying behind.
I will do what I can to not force anything on my sister that she does not want.
Can you tell her that I wanted to apologize to her too? Of course, I'll tell her myself once this is all over, but... Oh, and one more thing. Tell her we can have a party when this is all over.
Yosuke-san.
Oh, you're invited too, of course.
Yes, I will make sure to tell her. Though, we are not capable of eating food. Will that be a problem?
Huh? Really? Nah, it's no problem at all.
Thank you.
Be careful. That shadow looked pretty strong.
I will. Please stay safe.
Well, that's 2 less people we have to count for food for.
You're late. I had a feeling you'd be the one to come. Was Yosuke-kun a tough opponent? Just as you thought, the real party begins now!
What? Sister!
Oh, so close.
Is this what you really want?
What else is there for me?
It's finally come to this. Sister versus sister. Let the battle begin!
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. It has her activation date on it. Instead of birthday, it has her activation date.
Finally!
I just noticed that with Labris.
Fight!
Heavy damage! Aerial mode! No! No! Light damage! Heavy damage! Severe impact! No! Upward! Air strike! Unlock! Go! Try this! Please hit! Air strike! Unlock! Go! Here I go! Severe in persona! Fight! Now! Fight!
Okay. I feel like there should be a victory pose or something at the end of these fights, but it doesn't really happen. Maybe it's because we were only doing 1 round.
Why? Why can't I stay like this?
What does that sound? What was that, like, popping noise?
I knew that you couldn't beat her. But wow, you really didn't have any qualms about attacking her. Deep down, you must really want to make them suffer, don't you? You want them to go through what you had to.
No!
You want the everyday boys and girls to experience what you had to go through, right? That's why we're in a school.
This is pretty similar
having a
to
fighting
her
tournament.
dialogue from Yosuke.
You want to see close friends
Yosuke's
fight for their
timeline as well,
lives
if I remember
against each
correctly.
other. Because if they do that, then they might understand. You want to make them understand.
That ain't true!
But it was no use. Even another living weapon can't understand you. It's alright though. You don't have to worry about that anymore. I'll take care of everything from here. I'll destroy anyone who doesn't understand you and comes to get in your way. Just like you once did.
Please stop! That's all a lie! You're not me!
Finally! You finally said it! I'm finally free!
it's still kind of silly how like saying you're not me is like the
It's time
the
for the
line
true
you have to
sword
say.
take the stage.
She said the thing. I know it does get to, especially on like replaying other Persona 4 media. Like it's like, oh boy, it's the thing. Okay. Who are you? I'm you. No, I'm me. I'm me, he says.
I won't be needing that trash anymore. Now, let's get started, shall we?
Yeah. It was kind of fun how Replica Riku came back for KH3. At least a little bit. It did get quite ridiculous with how many Rikus there were in KH3. But yeah. Because there was regular Riku, there was Replica Riku, and then there was like Riku while he was possessed by Ansem. I guess it's KH3. We gotta have 3 Rikus, right?
It seems that I must take responsibility for this.
Oh, let's not talk about Data Replica Riku as well. I don't think he shows up in KH3 at all. Is there any more Rikus I should know about? Truly, Riku is Ansem's successor. You're Ansem, he's Ansem, I'm Ansem! Are there any more Ansems I should know about? Well, you're worse at this than your counterpart is. I'm the strongest there. Ow, ow, stop hitting me. Alright. I don't know if I'm warmed up or if that AI is just worse than normal Labrys, but man, that was
I
a
somehow
one-sided
pulled
battle.
through. Are you all right? Please listen. I have a message for you. From Yosuke-san. He said that he is sorry for promising to help you and being unable to support you when you needed it most. Additionally, he said that he would be throwing a party later. You are invited, of course.
You're lying.
If that is what you think, you can ask him yourself later. Now please, stand up.
Will you please stand up?
How
Please
come this
stand up.
happened? I didn't want to hurt anyone or make them suffer.
I know. That was a shadow going berserk. Not everything it said reflects your true feelings. I had a similar experience, actually. My other self was on the verge of going berserk.
Oh, Metis, yeah.
It told me there was an innate contradiction in having a heart, but not being human, preventing me from truly protecting others.
I mean, did Metis say that? I don't remember her saying that exactly, but yeah, okay.
Wasn't that tough to listen to?
Yes, of course.
Then how can you stand it? How are you still acting like everything's fine?
I'm fine right now, but I'm sure I will suffer that pain again someday. Very probably, as long as I am myself. It will never go away as long as I live.
It won't. Then what can I do but give up? What am I supposed to do?
We'll be all right, as long as we have friends. It was when you were alone that you suffered most. I'm sure of it. If you do not give up on reaching out to others, you will surely find someone who understands. Or maybe...
Hey, there you are! Thank goodness.
Are you two okay?
You seem to have the matter in hand.
So all the P4 cast came.
It might be more accurate to say that those who understand you are already here.
Do you mean beat Labris? I don't think you meant be Labris. This isn't Soma.
Of course, I want to understand you as well. Please talk to me whenever you want. Tell me about your memories,
Yes.
even
Okay.
if you have to take them one at a time.
You were right. I was always alone, so I had no one to talk to, no matter how much it hurt. And I went and blamed that on them. I'm sorry I ignored you all this time. I was the one who left you all alone. No, you are me, after all. This is my persona.
This reminds me of us from last year.
Yeah, it's the same thing. She's really no different from us.
Is that Labris?
Mitsuru-san, Akihiko-san, you're all right.
Of course we are.
Who are these people and what the hell are they wearing?
Oh man, a dude storming across the battlefield in just a cape? I am all about that.
I'd say you got good taste.
Oh, jeez.
Seriously?
Don't worry.
You're Labris, correct? I'm glad you're safe.
So when did you actually awaken?
Yes, she would. Yeah.
You know, I can't remember.
Please, Mitsuru-san, can you be lenient with her?
I mean, if she's into Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee and all that kind of stuff, which it seemed like, I think one of the posters in her room is one of those guys, like, copyright-free version, right? So, yeah, she'd probably be into Yakuza series. She probably wouldn't do all the mini games and stuff, but she'd really like the characters in the story, probably.
Yeah, would you, please?
Yosuke-kun.
I know I'm asking without knowing the whole story here, but please don't lock her up again.
Well, I hadn't intended to seal her away again to begin with.
Mitsuru-san!
Seriously? Did you hear that?
It should be a walk in the park compared to the challenge of sending Aigis to school.
Thank you so much.
How about if we go outside? This isn't really the place to stand around and chat.
Yeah. Well, it was a hell of a way to start off a holiday, but at least it's over. And why'd that shadow have to pick our school and us of all people?
You know, that is odd now that you mention it. I was told this place takes its shape from a person's memories. Why would it become this high school?
I had picked up on that incongruity as well. Putting aside that Inaba was chosen as the escape destination, why was a specific school so carefully recreated? I also have my doubts about Labris's power. Strictly speaking, it doesn't rob one's sanity. What her power really does is cloud one's senses with illusions. I'm not sure that would have been enough to control those hijackers so completely.
Hey, Lapras.
Hey,
She's...
Stay back, everyone!
Sister? No! Why?
Okay. So I'm kind of skimming through this, but this happens at the end of every single one of these. So.
Final. Fight!
Nope, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Should be the last fight. And so now we should get the
Lapras.
taunting, right?
You
Then again-
succeeded in repulsing it yet again. Very unexpected.
What is this? I'm not getting a good feeling about this.
It's certainly an ominous presence. That voice...
Is that my voice?
Oh.
No. Agisan's shadow?
To think you'd fight back this fiercely.
This is different.
No wonder you once drove back a god. Yes, I want them even more now.
want them? What does that mean?
Sadly, it seems things won't be going according to plan this time.
Oh, that's
But I'll
interesting.
make use of what tools I have.
Perhaps
to the very
because-
end.
We didn't fight our shadow versions of ourselves as the P3 crew. We're going to here as part of the lead into Ultimax. Because I know there's shadow versions of everyone for Ultimax.
This is my last chance. No, more like a marvelous entertainment.
Entertainment?
Stand, my puppet.
Is it controlling her?
Sister!
This form is exhausted from constant battle and will be useless as an asset. But unless you destroy it, it will keep rising up and attacking you all. What will you do?
Oh, crap. If this keeps up...
Let's do this! Takemika!
Wait! Don't interfere!
What?
Please!
Now, may you suffer and curse your fate. Relinquish your personas.
Relinquish?
Personas and shadows are one and the same. If I poison your hearts, I can recruit shadows with unparalleled strength.
Exposition, exposition, exposition.
Wait, what? You mean turn our personas back to shadows?
The heart is frail. Its weaknesses are never fully vanquished. Given the opportunity,
That'll
it
be
can
interesting,
betray you
if
and
that's the
return to
direction
darkness.
Ultimax goes.
Old wounds that you thought you had overcome, opened once again. You almost let go of your hearts, your personas. This one's desire to make people suffer was perfectly suited for such a plan.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too much exposition here for the end of this story. It should have been a bit more vague with the lead up into Ultimax,
Plan?
especially if Ultimax never happened. Because there is always the chance that happens, you know?
You caused all this to gather strong shadows?
You bastard. Who are you?
You had best hurry and decide who will
Hey,
be
Lorenzo.
destroyed, this shell or the lot of you.
sorry, but this show is over.
What?
Sister!
Looks like you made it in the nick of time. You saved us, Yamagishi.
Are you all okay?
Hey, it's Fuka with her updated design again. She let her hair grow out. I didn't notice that last time, but yeah.
Fuka-san?
So you had a third assistant.
Ooh, what a soothing voice! My teddy senses are telling me that this is a real cutie pie!
It is interesting how many more people like Fuka now with P3R. Like, there's a decent chunk of people who like was won over by the new voice acting and stuff.
Is this like Rise-chan's persona? Wait, where is she?
I think they also made some slight adjustments to the script for Fuka, but it's mostly the same. I think it's just having a different VA who was given a bit more direction, maybe. Certainly, like, sadly, it's not a Fuka Friday. No. Yeah, sadly, for whatever reason, the original English performance for Fuka's VA was very monotone.
This feeling. What the?
So I was wondering if, when P3R came out, if people would warm up to Fuka a bit more than they had previously.
That voice. It's not coming from in here. Whoever it is out there.
Seriously? She can use hers in the real world? That's amazing.
I guess the enemy is just mimicking your appearance. It's not actually a part of you.
Very impressive to guess correctly from such a long distance away.
Sorry, just the same pose kind of got me for a second.
You must be the one behind all this. You stole Labris and threw her into a TV. You were after Persona users from the start. That's why you chose this school and tampered with Labris's memories. And you just demonstrated how you controlled those hijackers.
So this must be the real Puppet Master.
Then, that voice who tried to dissuade me back in that classroom.
You're quite slow for a machine. Can't you tell by looking at me who that was?
I realize this is the type of emotion which can be best described in a single word. This is Yuri.
Are you angry? All right, I'll play along. The show must go on, right?
You've gone too far.
Okay, so now we get the mirror match with, I guess, or Shadow, I guess.
Finally.
Oh, I see. They had to use a different palette before. Because they didn't have a proper, Shadow versions yet. Yeah, being a Shadow version of, a character is like a full, different choice you can make on the character selection screen with Ultimax and everything. But for Arena, they didn't have, like, full mechanics built around the Shadow versions of, characters yet, so they just, gave them a different color palette. Yeah. Shadows work slightly differently than their normal counterparts. They mostly have the same combos, but they, like, give up certain, they have, like, certain benefits, but also lose certain other abilities that the normal character has. They're a lot more aggressive, as you would imagine.
This is fine with me. Good enough for my purposes that I confirmed you have enough power to meet my expectations.
Good enough, my ass.
Those are the words of a sore loser.
This is only a temporary form. I doubted there'd be any meaning in changing my appearance. But sure enough, it made for a very enjoyable game. All that irritates me is having to feign cooperation with that foolish human until I obtain the one true vessel.
That foolish human.
I will see you in another guise next time. Just wait until then.
Really setting up Ultimax pretty hard here, aren't they? Didn't expect that. I figured Ultimax was like an updated version because the original did so well, and they wanted to port it to newer platforms.
Yamagishi!
But it seems like they definitely had planned to do
The reading
Ultimax even before Arena was
It
done.
didn't move, it just vanished. What could this mean?
I wonder if the story for Arena and Ultimax was written out like all in one go, but they realized that they wouldn't be able to do it all in Arena, so they ended up breaking it up into like 2 different releases of the game.
Back to square one again.
Sheesh. It even had to.
Another guise, huh?
Don't even think about coming around here again!
Should we put up some talismans? I've got a lot left over from when we were putting them up in our inn.
Well, even if it shows up again, it'll get double the pain we gave it this time.
Who could it be, though? How did it know about our personas?
That aside, it sure had a sneaky way of doing things. This is twice I've been kidnapped into the TV world, you know. Twice!
Well, most people only got to do that once because they died. So
Don't worry about it. We'll handle things from here.
Wait, but it kinda said it was still after us.
Of course, you should be aware that the enemy is out there. Akihiko only means that there is no need to abandon your lives to pursue it. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. That is, after all, our duty.
Nope. Sorry.
But
Wrong button.
Guys, let's leave this to them.
So, okay, so did the P3 crew pick up on the fact that they're probably just going to do their own thing anyway? Or did they actually not notice?
You can...
are you serious?
They're right that we need to go back for now. You look beat.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Alrighty, attention, please.
Okay,
The
so
trip doesn't end until we get
they just
out of the
okay, they don't
TV.
notice.
Dude, we were in the middle of a conversation. And what's this about a trip?
Or at least Hygus didn't.
You really gave us a scare disappearing like that. And this isn't the first
You just thought
time
you was
either.
being considerate of their dilemma.
It's not my fault. Or should I actually sponsor the next Miss Inaba?
Don't even think about it.
What are you doing with this ancient TV? Hang on, where'd you even get this?
It's a Teddy Vision. You can get out from here.
This TV is our escape route? Can we really fit inside?
Ooh, are you a little too
Oh, jeez.
loaded to fit? In that case, I
Okay,
wouldn't mind
okay,
helping
Teddy.
you
Keep your
squeeze
hands
down.
off. Keep your hands off. Unless you'd like to be executed.
You're even worse than before, you know that?
It's too bad too, because like the whole like Teddy being kind of like, being like that, being a bit pervy, is more a result of like the original P4 translation, English translation, not being able to adapt his mannerisms well over into English. Like his whole thing of making bear puns a lot is just because in the original Japanese he will end his sentences with kuma sometimes. Obviously being bear, you know, and what is it, like, I think his real name is just Kuma, which is just bear, right, in the original Japanese. So like there are certain things about Teddy that like didn't translate over well to English, and so it ended up with him seeming more pervy than he actually is. Like the joke is kind of like that he's saying things like, when you get to Yukiko's palace, he starts talking about hot studs, right? But like in the original Japanese, it's clear that he's using it in a way that he doesn't know what it actually means. So it like ends up with him seeming more pervy than he actually is. So I wonder if that informed the writing here, unfortunately. Oh, jeez. She can't get... Labrys can't get through the TV because her wings are too big. I burst into laughter to see her legs sticking out the TV, kicking wildly. I take off the unit off her back and she instantly gets sucked into the TV. I wonder if she landed safely. As the last one left, I turn around to take a final look. It doesn't feel like it, but it's only been a few hours since we entered the TV. Only 3 days since the hijacking. It was a horrible nightmare, but at the same time, I met some good people. Most importantly, it isn't over. The true test may be still to come. I push my toes in and slip into the TV. Everyone made it back out safely. When we return to the real world, I am surprised to find myself in Junes, a large department store. I'd never seen Mitsuru-san so flustered. Even she could have not have expected to emerge in the most crowded place in town, and from a display TV at that. But to make it back through to the limousine, we have no choice but to walk through the store. Mitsuru is in her skin-tight suit. Akihiko-san, mostly naked except for his cape. Me and my mechanical parts exposed, and Labrys with her axe. Or her wings, I suppose? Not to mention Teddy. Rise and Naoto-san are both public figures. One is an idol and the other is a detective. We make quite the outlandish procession. Considering the nature of our operations, I have hoped to avoid having my picture taken with phone cameras. However, as we walk along, I find my fear of cameras is baseless. In fact, it's not cameras we need to worry about at all. It's the police. I find myself anxious in this completely unexpected situation. An arrest would mean disgrace as an unofficial unit. And I'm sure Yosuke-san and the others would like to avoid the inside of a juvenile hall. Everyone hastily agrees with each other and takes off at full speed. I can hear Yosuke-san and Chie-san loudly complaining about the unfairness of the world. Mitsuru and Akihiko-san exchange fearless smiles, though cold sweat is streaming down both their faces. Teddy and Labrys seem like they're having fun. I don't think they understand the situation. Yusu-san and Yukiko-san run without a word, like determined athletes. Kanji tries to turn and fight every so often, with Naoto-san having to stop him at each time. Rise-san switches on her cell phone and begins to find an alarming number of missed calls, which seems to be the bigger problem for her. In the end, our parting with Yasogami High School students concludes with a brief goodbyes as we all scatter like birds. I didn't think about that, but yeah, they all just got dumped out into the department store there. May 4th, the next day. Cars parked at an intersection away from the main road. We're here to say goodbye to everyone. Labrys wanted it this way. Happy to see that she wishes to see people again of her own will. On the street of this, okay.
I asked if I could come see everyone. I wanted to
Interesting
give
that they're
everyone
using
a real
P3
goodbye.
music here. I guess we are playing as a P3 character.
What do you do next? Are you going back to that lab?
No, I decided I'm gonna work with Mitsuru-san and them.
It's also interesting because P3R, like, you know, doesn't have all the same music that the original does, or they have different tones to them. Like, it's very clear, like, this is I don't know, it's just interesting because I haven't heard the original P3 music in a minute. So
I want to do my damnedest to catch whoever used me to bait a trap for you all.
although I think, yeah, we have exactly a week or so till the Answer DLC comes out. So that'll be exciting. I'm probably not going to play it the day it comes out. I'll just wait till the weekend. Yeah, that's my plan in it anyway.
All right. Then I guess the party's on hold until after everything's really over. But hey, you should come see us again anyway. Promise me, okay?
You got it.
If it was a release of like an actual game or something, I'd make sure. I'd make sure to play it on the day it comes out, but it's not really that, so. Labrys has a Dinler lady voice. I'm not familiar with Dinler. But she does have an accent, yes. Even after we leave, Labrys keeps waving through the rear window. Waving and waving and waving, waving and waving and... Even past the point where the human eye can no longer see her, she's still waving. Yeah, she did that at the end of Yosuke's thing as well. After she is waved to her heart's content, she turns to see Fuka-san and I looking at her and blushes. Fuka-san giggles.
I'm glad things went well.
Oh, we get more Fuka
but
with
first,
the P3 characters.
It's good to see you again. This is becoming a real reunion.
Indeed. Things are going to heat up from now on. I must get back and reallocate my staff.
You're including me in there, right? Every opponent I made a mistake against on my journey, I made sure to go back and get a rematch. This'll be no different.
Yeah.
It should spur discussion amongst the staff again about working Yamagishi into our unit.
Huh? I'm still not sure about joining any special unit.
Sorry, say that again? I would spur discussion among the staff again about working Yamagishi into our unit. Oh, so is Fuka not sure about doing this whole thing? Flustered, Fuka-san starts wringing her hand.
I didn't know the sky was so blue. Back at the lab, they only let me out at night. But this...
Didn't she get a view of the ocean that one time?
I feel like I've seen it once before. That same
okay.
bright blue sky.
So does she not remember that exactly anymore? I know this scenery? For an instant, it feels like that I do. Like a knot slowly undoing itself, the lid on a box inside of me opens, and something hot fills my chest. What had been only an image becomes a memory. Soon after, I understand everything. I know when Labras saw this scene. I know what she thought when she saw it. What she wished for.
Ah, I see now.
Noticing my murmur, Labras looks at me in wonder.
The scenery from your memory was the pier outside of the Yakushima laboratory.
Suddenly, Labras' eyes open in surprise.
The date was the final day before you were sealed. You made a heartfelt wish there. You hoped that your successor would make the same wish to see someone precious to them. And that meeting would take place at the pier.
I see. So this is connecting where you meet Aigis, why she's at the beach.
You dreamed that your successor would be able to go beyond that pier, to places you would never be able to see for yourself.
Oh, wait! Oh! The island they vacation at is the same island that,
and that even if your
Labras was on.
Deleted,
oh, that's why the tree was there. Because it wasn't the tree from that game. It was the tree from Persona 3. Well, maybe it's the same tree. I'd have to go back and check. Okay, because there was that, like, big tree that they were talking about. That's the tree that, you finally catch up to Aigis, and she's standing at that big tree in the middle of the woods. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Because I was wondering if they were pulling on, like, that mobile phone game that we only recently got access to. That, like, what was it called? Operation Zero or something? Whereas, like, this mobile phone game from, like, the early 2000s. Did they reference the P3 mobile game? That's what I was wondering. With, like, Labras' backstory, I was wondering if the same island that she was on is the same island that the P3 mobile game takes place on. I don't think so, unless the P3 mobile game takes place on the same island that you meet Aigis on in P3. I think this means that it's referencing the island that you meet Aigis on. And not the mobile phone game. Unless the mobile phone game takes place on that island. Yeah, Aigis the first mission. Yes. Yeah, I was wondering about that, because they were talking about, like, a large tree or whatever. And I couldn't remember what the island's name was from the mobile phone game. So I'd have to go back and look, but yeah. It seems like this is kind of tying back that memory she had of longing to meet someone important, like longing to meet somebody precious to them while standing at the pier, connecting that to the first time you meet Aigis in P3, while she was standing at the dock or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
It was at that very place where I met the friends I have now.
Yep.
When I was searching for someone, I found myself naturally drawn there for some reason.
My memories return to a certain encounter. That day, on that very same pier, I met him. Dear friend.
I think it was because of your wish.
My wish? You mean the thing I wished for that day actually came true?
Indeed. It stayed alive for 10 years. Thank you, Labris. It's because of you that I found happiness.
That's rough, buddy. Sorry, that just reminds me of that, like, one Avatar meme. My girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy.
Huh. I didn't know that. My desires, all the feelings I got from the others, they didn't go to waste.
Tears streamed down Labris's cheeks. I stretched out a finger to wipe them off, but it's already wet from a drop on my own cheek. Mitsuru-san and Fuka-san smile at us gently. Fuka seems a bit teary-eyed herself.
I gotta thank you, too. You made me remember something important.
After wiping her tears, Labris looks at me, her eyes clear and determined.
There's someone I have to find. I need to meet her so I can tell her something.
Ooh, I wonder if that gets paid off in Ultimax. I hope it does. I got to extend my hand to shake hers, but it seems too distant a gesture for us sisters. Instead, I pull her towards me and look her face to face.
I'm sure you will. You're not alone anymore. We can search for her together.
Yeah. Thanks.
Is that girl even around anymore, though? The girl who donated her, I guess, memories to the project to have a base to create the artificial personalities off of. I wonder if she's even still around anymore. Because it seemed like she was in the hospital for, like, long periods of time. Okay. Oh, wow, that unlocked Elizabeth. I guess once you completed one of the P3 stories, it just unlocks Elizabeth. Well, we'll do her last. We're going to keep going through the P3 characters. And I think we're going to try to get everybody besides you done today, but we'll see. I guess took like an hour or so. Maybe we won't get through the P3 characters today. We'll see. Probably go a bit faster with the other two, but still.
Why did it have to be now? Who the hell are you?
Oh yeah, didn't we just Kool-Aid man our way
We've come
in
to
here?
take you
Yeah.
in. Would it clear things up if I mentioned the name Kirijo?
Can't remember, but I think Akihiko just Kool-Aid manned his way into the and through a wall at this point in the story.
No! I'll never go back there! Damn it! Get back here! Hey, wait a second! Who are you?
I need to go after them. You're better off forgetting what you just saw.
Wait! You can't just... Hold it right there, Buster!
That's interesting. Should I run even harder? That might cause me to redline my heart rate, and that would deaden my legs for any upcoming fights. Or should I just convince her to leave? Unfortunately, it seems that both those options have been taken off the table now. Another invisible wall.
You're gonna tell me what's going on!
What good would that do you?
What?
I'm here on a certain mission. You could even call it a duty. My resolution is nothing like yours, based on curiosity.
A duty?
Ridiculous Grand Prix is still going on.
What? Wait, you mean... we're trapped. So, like, do we...
That's what you get for coming after me so recklessly. The rule that one opponent must be defeated is still in effect.
Alright, I accept.
Huh. Why are you willing to go to such lengths to catch up to Labris?
I don't know why. I just know that she was in pain.
I don't know if my reasons are better or worse than yours, but I can't turn my back on her.
All right. To answer your question, what you saw was the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris. She was—
A weapon? Then she really is a robot. But she's so cute. And she even sounds like a normal girl.
Well, one with an accent, but yes.
So that's what her lost memories were about. And since she has a heart,
Okay,
she
I might
has a
skim through some of
shadow
this because we
too.
literally saw this same exact dialogue with
She has a shadow. Do you mean the thing where
PA's
there's
story.
2 of her? I get it now.
I think that, but
It was a little bit
I have
different
some
with
suspicions about that.
I guess
Labris may have
like
been
the
forced
dialogue
to
was
do
a
some
bit different than
inhumane things while
Yosuke's
she was in development.
route, but
Her original
this
circumstances
seems to be
may
pretty
related
much
to
the same
setup
thing.
of this Grand
I'm not
Prix.
seeing anything really different besides getting like a
this
couple
tournament
like
is
some
a
different
reenactment of what Lapras
internal
went through in her
monologuing from
past?
Akihiko compared to Chie.
That's all I can tell you. If you still want to search for her, you'll have to defeat me to move on. What'll it be?
If Lapras wished to make us go through what she went through, that means she wanted to be understood. She wanted someone to save her.
That's just your guess, though.
But if it's possible I'm right, then I can't abandon her. That's why I won't go back until I've saved her. Her heart is worth fighting for.
What's your name? Mine's Akihiko Sanada.
I'm Chie Satonaka, a 3rd year at Yasagami High.
I like the fire in your eyes. Then let's fight and see whose passion comes out on top.
Okay. See if I remember how to play as Akihiko. It'd be interesting to see if he also gets a shadow version of himself, or if that was specifically for Igus.
Final.
Like if the enemy taunts him with like a shadow version of himself. Ah, mistimed that. Okay.
Looks like I win.
Ah, damn it, this sucks. I lost. Oh well.
This should be different.
Hey, Chie. You don't
Since,
get to go search for Labris like you wanted and you're laughing?
We won with Chie last time. Did you get to play as Kanji? Yep. Hopefully we'll get to play as Kanji today
Well, I figured either way.
and
you'd
actually
save
finish
her.
out his story, but
Lapras,
yeah.
I mean.
I've gone through all the initial stories. This is just cleaning up all the cliffhanger, cleaning up all the endings, getting through all the cliffhanger stuff.
Can I ask you to give her a message? Please tell her I said I was sorry.
The one with you is apparently the canonical ending for leading into Ultimax, so we're gonna do that one last. Besides Elizabeth, we're gonna do his and then Elizabeth's last. So,
For saying such cruel things and doubting.
but it's still
her.
kind of interesting to see
Let
some
her
of this
know
dialogue.
I really want to talk with her when this is all over.
Although
anyway,
there is
just
like a
tell her I
lot of talking for a
apologized.
fighting game.
Yeah, I'll let her know.
C title.
I need to thank you, Chie.
Huh?
On my way here, I was told that my strength was fake. That I was just immersing myself in training to escape my fear of losing others. That I was just sticking my head in the sand. And that was true. The reason I'm so hard on myself is because I'm scared. That might be a weakness of mine. But watching you made me realize it's okay to be like that. No, I don't want to lose anyone again. Ever. but that's how I can become stronger. Sheer raw strength is pointless. Getting the ability to see your deepest wishes through is true strength.
That's a little abstract, but I guess it's a compliment, though I still feel a little embarrassed about it.
Wait here for me. I'll bring Labrys back no matter what.
Who's he thinking of? Kurosawa-san? Is that... Who's he thinking? Kurosawa. Is that the police officer? Yeah, it is. Okay.
Once this is all over, I should go see him too.
Gotcha.
You again? You came all this way after me?
I mean, you just kind of went in a circle, but yeah.
Come with me. I won't let you get hurt.
I'm never going back there. I never want to get put through that again. I'm gonna run away. Just you watch me.
And where will you go? Is that how you're gonna solve everything? You won't even listen, huh? Fine. I didn't think anything I said would be enough to earn your trust. So come at me with everything you've got. I'll accept you for who you are.
Okay. Well, at least Saki goes straight to the point.
Finally! Fight!
Okay.
What?
Nope, sorry. Why won't anyone understand? Gotcha. Axe flying at his head.
Oh, that's a pretty dangerous looking electric fan you've got there.
Shadow glowers at me with an expression of pure hatred.
Damn. Please stop! This ain't what I wanted!
Hey, calm down. This is your shadow. It's you, isn't it?
Huh? What good will accepting it? If I accept it, then I'm just...
That's right. There's no way he'd understand. The Kirijo group created you as a tool. Of course, that's the only way they can think of you. Not that you're any better. You didn't hesitate at all to attack him. It just shows your true colors. You want the everyday boys and girls, right?
Okay, this is the same dialogue that we just saw.
But it was no use. It's all right.
I'll just stop it! That's all a lie. You're not me. You can't.
Take a boy, that would be a really, that would be kind of a funny but really bad drinking game. Just taking a drink every single time they say you're not me or whatever. This is a fighting game. You could actually, if you skipped most of the dialogue, you could get through this in a reasonably short amount of time. But like, yeah.
I'm finally free. I won't let you or anyone else get in my way.
I think the story here is fine. It's just presented in kind of a weird way. I haven't played like a lot of fighting games, so I don't know if it's like par for the course or not.
You really think I'm gonna make it that easy?
Although it does look like Ultimax's story is laid out a bit better, where you don't have to. You have a bunch of fights, and you do work through and like play as all the characters, but you don't have to like see the same dialogue over and over again, right? Seems like it, anyway.
You want to be destroyed that badly? Then I'll save her for later and crush you now!
I swore I'd protect Labrys, and I'm not gonna lose what I'm protecting ever again. Now, come get me!
Shut up, Carrie Joe Dog!
Okay.
Final. Fight.
It's funny how he like teleports around during his standard combo. Like, nothing personnel, kid. I genuinely think that this version of Labrys is easier to deal with than her standard counterpart. I think her normal combos are actually harder to deal with than her like big wind-ups with like, what is it, Asterius or whatever. Like, I have struggled more with like standard Labrys than Shadow Labrys.
What's with that face? Stand up and look at me. I have a message for you from Chie.
Huh?
She wanted to apologize for doubting you and hurting your feelings. She was really sorry about what she said. She wanted to tell you herself, too. She was so determined to save your heart that she threw everything she had at me.
Chie-san said that?
Also, Mitsuru, the girl in charge of the Kirijo group, learned what happened to you and was mortified to hear of it. Do you still think no one understands? That your pain is unique to you?
I never thought of things like that. I never imagined anyone understood me. But that's... I don't know anymore. What am I supposed to believe?
You're human, so you must have the answer. Labrys gazes up at me expectantly. It's true that I have something to believe in, but I don't just have something to believe in simply because I'm human. Plenty of people walk the earth with nothing to believe. I had to find and grab hold of it myself. Indeed, I found it only after facing down my own weaknesses.
Look, I don't know much about how you suffered in the past, or how many times your heart was broken. But don't give up. Believe in yourself and keep standing up to the world. No matter how many times you fail, some things you have to grasp for yourself.
Myself?
That's right. If there's something you really want, fight for it. You'll never get it by running away. What's your strongest desire?
I want people to understand how I feel.
Then there's someone you need to tell that to. And that's yourself over there.
I get it. That's what you've been saying this whole time. In your own way. Yeah. I understand now.
I do think that the whole, like... I think in terms of, like, how people have awakened throughout the series, I think the whole, like, shadow self is turning into a persona is the most interesting.
I was the one who left you all alone.
Because P5's awakening is tearing off the mask of, like, the things that, like, your public-facing self and, like, embracing who you really are.
No.
P3 is having the courage to stand up to death. And then P4 is looking at the ugly truths of yourself and like being able to accept that about yourself and being able to grow from there. But I think like as a concept, I think P4 has like the most interesting to me at least way of doing like shadow awakenings or like persona awakenings. Just because I feel like there's a lot you can do narratively with having a shadow version of it,
Is my
like your main characters, to show their flaws and everything. And also, it really is like,
So this is the other me.
it's a part of them or like an aspect of them, right? So it is like, yes, they are really trying to rebel against their main self, but only because the main self is like rejecting them. Like, I'm part of you. Why are you lying to yourself and saying that I'm not part of you? Deep down, you know that I'm part of you. Why are you rejecting me, you know? Because from the shadow side, it's like, yeah, you know, it hurts to be denied and told that you're not part of them, you know? Does that make sense? I feel like I'm kind of talking in circles here, but yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I think P3's is also pretty good. Honestly, P5's looks really cool in an anime cutscene, but I feel like was not done well from a narrative standpoint. Because P3's is all about, like, facing death. P4 is about facing truths, even ugly truths, even about yourself. And then P5, like I said, is about ripping off the mask that you show to, like, the outer world, which isn't as interesting and wasn't done as well. Like, I feel like maybe there's, like, a lot of nuance lost and, like, context lost in going from Japan to a Western audience, and I think there is definitely some of that. Why it doesn't resonate with me as well as maybe, like, P3 or P4 does. I think there's a lot about P5 that's, like, very much pulls on Eastern ways of thinking and how culture is over there and, like, how people are expected to behave over there that, like, just doesn't translate well to a Western audience. I wonder if that's what part of the reason why I don't like the story of that game as much. Because I only realized in a recent playthrough for the Pixie thing that the whole point of the text messages is that it's supposed to be like what they actually think versus how they were being polite during an event or something. Like when they go to the radio, when they go to the TV thing or whatever, with the TV broadcasting thing, you know, they have their, like, public things and stuff, and then when they get back, they have a text message conversation about it where they actually say what they actually think without having to worry about other people, like, judging them or whatever, because they're just talking to their friends and people understand them. But, like, it doesn't really work as well, I feel like. And also, there isn't, like, a huge distinction between how they portray themselves in public versus in private, or at least we don't see the distinction as much in the English translation. Because there isn't, like, a lot of extra, like, honorifics and, like, different styles of speaking formally and informally. Like, there is, like, informal and formal language when it comes to English, but it's not as distinct as, like, having a whole different, like, set of characters and, like, words to use, you know? So, I don't know. Just things thinking about. Kind of interesting.
It's not easy accepting yourself.
Also, the text message conversations get boring and annoying. I started skipping a bunch of them, even on my first playthrough about halfway through. Because they just repeat, like, the same exact thing. At least in English, they just repeat, like, the exact same things that they said during an event or during what just happened. And, like, the conversations aren't written well to be interesting. Like, and they don't look like actual text conversations.
But you managed to get past that. Congratulations.
There's just not enough of a distinction between how they act in public versus private to make it be like, oh, that makes sense. You know, like, this is how they actually feel or whatever.
Thanks.
We should get going. You have some things you want to tell Chie too, right?
Okay.
okay, Miss President. Or should I call you Labrys?
Jason.
Hello,
Oh, we haven't heard you speak in a while.
sorry, who are you?
I'm liking that look you've got going on. It's like you just
He's like,
single-handedly
I'm so
saved the
sorry.
world from an
In this
evil army."
timeline, I have done basically nothing.
Yosuke, don't be so rude. Akihiko-san, thank you for saving Labrys.
No need to thank me. I just delivered the message you left me with.
Are you all right, Akihiko?
It seems my sister has also forged a bond.
That takes you back, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Though I am a machine, I understand what it means for people's hearts to come together. I would definitely like for my sister to learn that as well. Are you thinking of sealing my sister away again?
Don't tell me you're going ahead with that. I know you're in a delicate position, but I have serious issues with this.
No, you misunderstand. I realize full well the situation here. That's not what I was thinking about. What's bothering me is that the true culprit in this case never did show their face.
What? Didn't Labrys say she escaped here on her own?
That's what I thought most likely at the time, but that scenario doesn't match what we've learned since then. How did Labrys learn about this world? Why did she call in these other persona users?
You had some basic investigation done on Inaba, right? If she regained her consciousness a while ago, it's possible she infiltrated your network and found out about that stuff.
That's not my only doubt. Labrys' ability to cloud others' senses can only go as far as creating hallucinations. That's inconsistent with the ability to control people so thoroughly as to make them risk their lives in a hijacking. There's too much that doesn't add up.
It is a bit weird.
That does seem suspicious.
With the controlling part at the end here, where like it's more of an ability with the P3 crew, where P4 it's like, oh, she got hacked. And we have seen that Labrys has like, or at least her model has a like override, right? Of like a backdoor for the scientists to get in case of things going wrong, right? So.
Labrys, how did you escape all the way here?
Huh? I was inside a chamber and...
Get back! What a pain.
Akihiko, buy me some time.
You got it! Labrys, I will protect you no matter what.
Okay, so at least it seems like it's slightly different for the P3 crew than the initial three. Well, initial 3 for the P4 crew. Where they all had like very similar dialogue when it came to Igus being taken over, and like the mastermind kind of taunting us about that. How tall is Labrys? It says she's 160 centimeters. I need to convert that though to get an understanding of how tall she is. I didn't think about this, but yeah, I guess this fight exists partially so that you can have a fight against Labrys with her actual shadow and everything. It is a little funky to fight Labrys multiple times, since you fight her once without her persona, once as her shadow version with Asterius, and then this again. So.
Looks like I managed to keep her intact. You resorted to your fists in the end, after all.
Oh, okay, so it is.
That's why people say you're.
He is going to taunt them with their shadow selves or whatever.
What is that?
It's another Akihiko-san?
Whoa! Is that Akihiko-san's shadow?
You go on and on about resolve and whatnot. What have you been doing these past few years? Just training yourself to fight better, that's all. You haven't grown at all as a person. You're still running from your fear of losing people, just like before. So you are watching us. Looks like the mastermind of this thing has a lot of time to kill.
Huh? Mastermind?
What are you talking about? I came from the sea of your soul. Enough. Do you think you rattle me with that tired old theme?
The Shadow, no, the Mastermind, arrogantly tries to rile me up, but his taunts are powerless against me. I'm not taking the bait. No anger, not even surprise. There's nothing rising within me. My heart was completely placid.
So you won't admit it. Then, rise again, my puppet. Dance until you shatter. Looks like you've shown your stripes already. That power proves you're not my shadow. So what? You still have no choice but to suffer. Unless you destroy this thing, it will keep rising up and attacking you all. What will you do?
Sad to say, but this show is over.
What?
It means we won't fall for the same trick again. Yamagishi, now!
Are you all okay?
Fuka-san?
Is this like Rise-chan's persona? Wait, where is she?
This feeling. What the? That voice.
Seriously?
Okay, so this
That's not your
dialogue is pretty much
shadow,
the same.
Akihiko-senpai. It's just a fake mimicking your appearance.
Very impressive to guess correctly from
Looks
such
like
a
they
long
definitely, yeah,
distance
they
away.
obviously had to re-record the same dialogue with different, you know, shadows, quote unquote.
You
But yeah.
must be the one behind all this. You stole Labris and threw her into a TV. You were after Persona users from the start. And you just...
Why did you go after these students? What are you up to? Personas and shadows are one and...
Okay,
Wait,
so
what?
if you can, yep, okay, so same thing. If I can poison your hearts, turn you back into shadows. I can perform a summoning without this now. I still just couldn't let it go. The evoker. It serves as a constant reminder of those days fighting as a part of Seas. So I won't forget the joy, the sorrow, and the losses from those days. I point the muzzle to my head just like I used to. Feeling of cold metal, that easy trigger pull.
You said before that I couldn't cast aside my fears.
Back then, I felt that I didn't care if I lived or died. I just wanted power, all the power I could manage. Whether my disregard for my own life was because I secretly wanted someone to punish me, or because I wanted someone stronger than I to forgive me and allow me to live. In either case, my resolution is no longer the same.
But I'll tell you something. People who have no fears end up dying early or throwing their lives away. My determination coexists with my fears. I know that death and loss are always close by.
I squeeze the trigger of my evoker. A nostalgic sensation. I was just a kid 3 years ago when I laid my life on the line. And now, though, can't allow myself to die. In my heart, I know I cannot lose this fight. I've accumulated all this power to protect others. I'm risking my life in order to stay alive and to keep my friends safe. This is my current determination.
And you still say you're my shadow?
If a shadow is just another form of one's persona, then...
My determination would never leave my side.
Final. Fight!
Okay.
No wonder you managed to drive back a god once. I didn't think you'd resist this fiercely. Good enough for my...
Good enough.
Okay, this is the same
I doubted
dialogue.
there'd be any need. I would... Wait!
Yamagishi!
The reading disappeared. It didn't move, it just vanished. What could this mean?
Back to square one again.
Bullshit! Don't you ever come back again!
Still, what was it planning on using our persona powers for?
It hasn't given up, right? And we'll see it again.
Don't worry about it. We'll handle things from here.
Wait, but it kinda said it was still after us.
Of course we will.
Okay, this is the same
battle will
dialogue.
go on, huh?
Okay.
I'm glad things went well. Oh, but first, it's good to see you again. This is becoming a real reunion.
They were certainly a lively bunch to the very end.
Labrys, whose Mitsuru opted not to reseal, is still gazing out the rear window and waving to them.
You regret parting with them?
A little. But it's only a matter of time. I promised Chie and the rest that I'd definitely come back.
I want to see the Inaba group and say goodbye to them in person. Labrys was the one who insisted on a formal goodbye. Not only that, she decided herself decided to leave them for a while and join the Shadow Operatives. There was gonna be a KH animated series. Interesting. The KH manga's pretty good. They got canned? That's too bad. It would have been cool to see like some of the fights, like the Roxas and Sora fight in a fully like animated cut style, or stuff like that. You know. Maybe that's why. It would have been expensive to do all those fights, because you probably would have had to do at least 3 or 4 for big fights for the end of KH2. Or maybe they just couldn't work it out with Disney. You know, getting all the rights to use all the characters again. Especially for KH1. Because we've never seen... was it? Tarzan again? We've never seen the Tarzan world ever again, or any of the characters from there, due to licensing stuff. Like, even in games like Chain of Memories or Recoded, that touches on Kingdom Hearts 1's and, like, basically retells Kingdom Hearts 1's plot with, like, some extra details and, like, new context. Both of those don't have Tarzan in them. Just due... I believe they don't have Tarzan in them, just due to the fact of, like, licensing being a thing.
Mitsuru, may I talk to you?
What is it? It's unlike you to be so formal.
This won't be any time soon, but I'm thinking of leaving the Shadow Operatives eventually.
What?
Huh?
Fuka doesn't seem as hard-hit as the other members, but even she's looking at me with confusion in her eyes. This is actually something that I've been thinking about from the very beginning. These feelings have been smoldering inside me ever since I received my first mission. And I finally found an avenue to direct those feelings. Mitsuru seems to realize this is something I've given a lot of thought to, and responds in a business-like manner.
May I ask why?
There's something I want to do now. I can't do it while I'm part of an unofficial group like this.
People who fear random acts of violence and crime, people down on their luck who have no one to turn to. I want to become someone they can rely on. There's one great power that's protected me when I was faced with senseless acts of violence in the past. One that caused me great loss. It was an ordinary police officer. Right now, I'm forced to turn a blind eye to the plights of some people. As long as I have to carry out my obligations as a member of the Shadow Operatives, I won't be able to help them. I'm going to have to forego protecting some of the smaller things in order to deal with the larger missions. This case helped me realize that I don't want to give up on those smaller things. I want to protect them.
I see. I think you would be well suited to it, Akihiko-san.
Becoming a police officer to protect one city would be great too. I'm not working my way up through official channels to become a force for security, but greater power is required to protect a larger area. And that power can't just come from my fists. There are greater, intangible powers in society as well. It wouldn't be a bad idea to work my way into the upper echelon as a government official either. And again, I don't know if I'm cut out for all that bureaucratic stuff. Mitsuru had been quietly taking in all my musings until she interrupted my train of thought with some surprising words.
Of all the things you were going to say, that's it?
What do you mean, that's it? Even I know it's pretty ordinary, but...
Whether you man a police box or become a career officer, you should do it. And if you do, then I'll consider your circumstances, to an extent, whenever I need you.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
For a moment, I couldn't understand what Mitsuru meant.
Wait, are you planning on making me belong to 2 departments at once? You wouldn't use the Kirijo name for that, would you?
Bite your tongue? I won't do anything. But even if I don't, it'll happen on its own. You underestimate the organization's need for you. Leaving that aside, if you're going to wish to become something like that, then there's something you need to do first.
Put on a shirt.
You're right. I need to train more and...
No, I meant going back to college.
Mitsuru certainly adds, you should follow Yamagishi's example. That reminds me, I took a leave of absence from college to go on my journey. I didn't have a problem with my classes while I was still attending. But what about now?
Do not worry, Akihiko-san. I will calculate the units and time necessary for graduating and plan the most effective curriculum for you.
I'll be counting on you, I guess. I've been thinking this for a while now, but Akihiko seems to need someone to manage him.
I'm honored.
Another trial for me to face.
Someone's in trouble.
Labras interjects with a joke at my expense and starts laughing. I guess Mitsuru and even Fuku warmly smile back at Labras. For a robot, Labras sure has great timing and a great smile. I give up and have a deep sigh before leaning back into my seat. Labras quickly formed new bonds on Nineba, and she will continue to form new bonds while she works with the Shadow Operatives. One's heart changes through encounters with others. It's always the same, whether your heart is covered with muscle or metal. Even if the culprit behind this incident were to appear again, it'd be no match for my new determination. Weather's great today. The day's cloudless sky is a perfect metaphor for my new resolve. Thinking about how fitting the situation is, it makes me laugh to myself. Cloudless sky, he says, as the sky is covered with clouds. Okay. After all this traveling, I finally feel like I've taken a step forward. All right. Onwards and upwards.
Why are there 2 of her?
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
I am a shadow. The true self.
It's Miss President Shadow.
I'm taking the real one with me. I'll never let you catch me.
What is she? You seem to know.
First, tell me something. Why was she in so much pain? What's all this about Labras and weapons?
I'm sorry, but that's classified. It's not for civilian ears.
Then I won't tell you anything about her. If you want to know what I know, you have to tell me what you know first.
Well, I suppose you're involved now. All right, her official name is 5th Generation Anti-Shadow Suppression Weapon. Codenamed Labras. She is an android weapon created by the Kirijo group years ago. In order to use persona abilities, she was given a heart. We couldn't let her run free. Just look at the trouble she's caused. We came to retrieve her and minimize any damages.
So when she said she didn't want to remember, that's what that was about. Hey, why didn't you listen to what she was trying to say? She said that she didn't want to remember, but you kept pushing your demands on her and making her feel bad.
That's...
You gave her a heart because you needed her to have one, and then kept treating her like that. No wonder she's in pain.
Why are you siding with Labras so much?
I heard her voice a few times. It sounded like it was from her past. She said she was forced to fight when she didn't want to, that she was hurt and afraid.
Someone to believe in, huh?
She's Miss President's shadow.
Fujikawa.
The repressed desires you don't want to admit, here they take on a life of their own.
So that's why. Then what's her ultimate goal? Why did she take Labris?
Shadows, they try to become real. It confronts the original with weaknesses to make them deny that the shadow's part of them. Also, it can take their place.
That's something we haven't seen before. That'd be interesting. We never saw a shadow succeed at taking somebody's place. Maybe you could say that one guy who pretended to be the killer? Right? Mitsuo or whatever? What was his name? I think it was something like that. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily the case with him either. Of like the shadow taking his place.
I see. Then there's no time to lose.
Do you think you can save her? A shadow doesn't disappear until the original person accepts it.
Fujikawa, let me amend my earlier statement. I didn't come here just to minimize the damage. I came to save everyone. Will you trust me on that?
Make sure you listen to what Labris wants to say this time, okay?
I fully intend to. Speaking with you made me understand something important. Thank you for that. It must be that smile of yours that catches your audience's heartstrings.
Promise me then. Make sure you come back with her.
Okay. To the music room.
Who are you?
Oh. Hey, you. I feel like we've been dancing in circles around you for a while. You haven't shown up in too many of the endings recently. And we haven't seen too much of you ever since we got past the main Persona 4 crew.
It seems we're locked in. The rule against proceeding without fighting is still in effect.
Are you Kirijo-san by any chance? Rise got in touch with me.
I am indeed Mitsuru Kirijo. As I recall, you were the sister no, your name was Narukami. There doesn't seem to be anything scrambling our senses. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't sense any noise, but it can't hurt to ask. You're not showing that he understands the question.
Rise told me you were out to save Miss President. Labris, her name was?
That's right. But I must act swiftly. There's no noise here because our enemy thinks we'll be hesitant to fight in our right minds. Would you mind conceding?
Yeah, we're gonna do
drag
you and then
into
Liz.
this any further.
That's the plan. The plan today is to get through. Hopefully, we'll see how time allows. I'm trying to get through things relatively quickly here, but the idea is to get through pretty much everybody besides you and Liz, and then just do them on Thursday.
I understand, but I can't do it like that. If the rules are still in effect, my friends are still trapped. They still need someone to rescue them. I fought battles I didn't want and taken on a lot of responsibilities, which includes saving Labris, of course. It's not that I don't believe you, but I don't think it's right to simply hand the burden over to someone I just met.
I see.
Sorry, this must be frustrating to you.
No, don't misunderstand me. I have no objections. I admire your willingness. With the final battle awaiting ahead, perhaps it's best that the stronger of us two should be the one to proceed.
It's strange, but he reminds me of someone. Although his fighting stance, physique, and features are completely different, still reminds me of the one who saved us. And the entire world.
I like the look in your eyes. I will test your resolve with my sword.
Gee, I wonder why. But yeah, we'll do you and Liz hopefully on Thursday. That's a plan, anyway. I guess if we have to, we'll also do a couple of other people that we can't get to today, but and just kind of go along. But
Finally.
yeah.
Fight!
I'm coming for you! Wanna stay? Better luck next time! Down!
Nobody lies, can't see Sarah. Yeah, I listened through the soundtrack of this
I will
game.
move
I
on.
don't remember if I mentioned this or not. Like, sometime last week. There's a lot of really good music here, but obviously most of it is fighting music, so couldn't really put it in any of the usual playlists.
But first, I have something to ask you. You said that you want to save Labrys too, but you barely know her. She isn't human and has been through things that aren't easy to understand. What were you going to do for her when you found her?
Narukami quietly closed his eyes before answering.
Nothing in particular, but I could have stood at her side at the very least.
At her side.
A number of things dawned on me with Narukami's words. Though I had resolved to fight by myself, I wasn't truly alone. I had family and close allies, all who supported me. Labrys was alone. She fought against the same units who shared her fate, and after escaping to this world, she had no one. I see. I understand now. He politely underlined something important I had overlooked. He's not the first to show me a new perspective like this. That's the warm sensation that spreads within me. I understand. That's why Narukami reminded me of him.
You really do remind me of an old friend.
I do?
Yes. Though he's more than just a friend.
Ooh.
I owe my life to him.
Ooh, more than just a friend. I attempted to contact Kujikawa again. When she responds, I give her another request. She eagerly agrees, and Narukami, who's listening, and nods in satisfaction.
Well then, I'll be going now. To save Labrys.
There's no hesitation now. I've seen what must be done. I must go forth to keep my promise with them. Labrys will be saved. I'm certain of that now.
Kujikawa, can you hear me? The Shadow is headed to the announcement room again.
I've already picked up on her and got out. Also, I've managed to reach your friends. I was just talking to someone named Aegis.
Kujikawa says she's never tried to connect multiple people at once, but with a little practice, she's picked up the knack. Her persona support skills are advanced indeed. In contrast to my own inability to contact my friends against this noise without linking my persona to the communicator, she easily located Akiko and Aegis. Really, she's quite talented.
Aegis, can you hear me? I need you to keep Kujikawa safe.
Understood.
My. You've come. Sorry, but you're too late. You really helped me out, though. You were pretty hard on this girl, weren't you?
I...
Look me. We've got a guest. This human's here to take us back. She'll never understand how we feel. A typical human.
Stop! Don't say any more!
Labrys.
I step between Labrys and her shadow and draw my weapon. The shadow looks at me and her face boils over with hatred.
What's this all about? Oh, of course. It would be a problem if she were destroyed while you were retrieving her, huh?
Retrieve? No! This has got nothing to do with me!
How long are you gonna lie to yourself? It's about time you face reality. You want the everyday.
Interesting that there's some unique art for this arc.
That you had to go through.
It's interesting to see kind of where they placed focus, like which stories got a bit more focus and attention from the devs. Like, Yosuke's definitely did, Mitsuru's here definitely did, Aegis's did. You can see where, like, the attention was in terms of, like, which stories I thought worked the best, kind of. Or they liked the most. Because those were the ones where they, like, put in extra effort, like, making extra artwork and stuff for them.
Right? That's why we're in a school, having a fighting tournament. You want to see
Like, this is the
close
same
friends
dialogue that
fight
we've seen a
for
couple
their
of
lives
times now,
against
but
each
it's
other. You want
set
to make
against,
them
like, a
understand.
piece of art that's not obviously in the other routes.
But it didn't work. Kirijo marched in here and spoiled your fun. It's all right, though. You don't have to worry about that anymore. I'll take care of everything from here. I'll destroy anyone who doesn't understand you and comes to get in your way. Just like you once did.
No! No! That ain't what I want! You're
Oh, here it comes.
not me!
There it is.
That's right. I'm myself. I'm free. Even if I'm a misunderstood machine, I'll escape from all this. Yes, the power.
It's gone berserk, but there should still be time. I'll make you settle down.
What's with you, you hypocrite? The way you've been acting pisses me off. How can you be so kind to her? No matter what you do, it won't erase your sins. Fine. Since you're a Kirijo, why not tell you exactly what your family did to me? What they made me do? Remember those spectating students? What did you think those human-shaped silhouettes were?
Oh, that's a good point. For a moment, her unexpected shift in topic catches me off guard.
Shadows, too. Shadows of the prototypes you made her destroy.
Okay. Okay, actually, that went a different direction I thought it would. I thought it would be, like, in parallel to, like, this, the scientists that were always watching her. Watching the fights that happened. But no, that's... Okay, that's interesting, too. Okay.
When they were destroyed, their information was transferred to the victor. What's left of their hearts remains deep inside Labyrinth. That's right. They all had a soul. But because they never fully developed, their shadows helped her play school after they separated from her.
Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. Cool. I guess that is one nice thing about having so many different perspectives on the same story with a fighting game like this. You can really dig into some of those, like, smaller details. Even without, like... Or, like, you can see things from multiple angles, so you can kind of get a more complete picture of, like, certain things. Huh. That's a cool detail.
Did you see? Those spectators you saw everywhere were her sisters she had to kill at the Kirijo group's orders. I haven't forgotten. I'll never let their memories or their pain go. I won't forgive anyone who tries to take my freedom.
I acknowledge your anger and grief. Setting things right here is my way of atoning. This fight will release you from your curse once and for all.
Okay. Let's see if this version of her is still easier than the other version. Although I don't think we fought against Labyrinth. So I wonder if there's an extra fight for the Mitsuru route that we haven't gotten yet. I was gonna say stylish end, but Mitsuru is so stylish that it kind of goes without saying.
Am I gonna be alone again? What am I saying? Of course I am. After all I've done?
No. No one will lock you away ever again.
Huh?
I thought I had a firm grasp on things. But in the end, all I did was drive you into a corner.
Why? Why is a Kirijo apologizing to a machine? I mean, I hurt people. Dragged him into my own mess. I'm just like I was before. There ain't no reason to forgive me.
That is solely your opinion.
Huh?
Kujikawa, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Is that Rise-san?
That's right. You've met her too, and...
To tell the truth, I only saw you for a second, so I ain't really sure what's going on. But it seemed like you went through a lot. Anyway, hope things start looking up.
Sorry that happened to you, or I'm glad it did.
It's way too simple. Can't you think of anything better to say?
Hey, it ain't simple at all. I know damn well how tough it is to see a shadow come out of yourself.
Yeah, we've all been through the same thing, so we'd suck pretty bad if we didn't forgive you.
You caused me a lot of trouble, but it was still kind of fun. Kinda.
Oh gosh, the Teddy, the echo effect on Teddy's voice was a little oof.
What you saw wasn't the whole picture, right?
A little bit too much.
That's just how our hearts are.
Kanji throughout this has been kind of weird. Yeah, he has been a bit more of a jokey character than he is usually. Between, like, falling into the TV, while half asleep, and thinking that this is a dream at the start. I guess it's not terrible, the fact that, like, he thinks it's a dream for the first part, but he's definitely a bit more jokey, or, like, a bit more comic relief than he usually is in, like, the main plot.
I concur. None of us can cast stones after you've gone through the hardship of facing your shadow.
I mean, the characterization of some of the other characters is also a little different than usual, and there are those joke endings, right, with a couple of the characters.
That aside, I'm just glad you're okay.
Like Akihiko, like, being all, like, protein and stuff. But some of that is just, like, they can get away with doing that because it's, like, an illusion or whatever.
I was worried about you. I left you alone knowing you couldn't use a persona.
Labrys, when you come back, we should talk.
Senpai's right, and not just us. Sister, can you hear me? I too would like to talk with you. There's something I'd like to tell you. You may know it already, but still.
You guys, why?
You are a machine, unlike us. That is undeniable.
Well, except for Aegis. Exceptions excluded.
There will be days to come when you are tormented by solitude and caged by your own weakness. But one thing will be very different. Starting today, you are not alone. Companionship is the greatest guide. In my mission here, I've come to be reminded of that. We hope to become that guide for you as well. If you're not alone, you can stand to face the most painful of truths.
Face the truth. I see. I get it now. I'm sorry I ignored you all this time. I was the one who left you all alone. No. You are me, after all.
I think it's interesting that they kept with kind of the same, like, mechanical theme for Labrys's persona, the same way they did with Athena for Aegis.
This is my persona.
Because Athena for Aegis also has kind of a mechanical theme going on, especially with her animations for her summoning and, like, using skills and stuff in P3. Like, I think her head tilts back when she uses, like, a range skill or whatever and, like, shoots out of her neck or whatever. But I'm trying to remember. But anyway, it's interesting that they kept that theme
Labris and
with
Kirito-san.
Labris as well. It'd be interesting to see other personas with that same kind of theme. I guess maybe I'll have to double check Metis's. I haven't thought about Metis's persona in a while. Not since I originally played The Answer, like a couple of years ago now. How long ago was that? That was a few years ago now. I think that was back in 2021. I originally played through The Answer.
Welcome back, you guys.
Whoa! You really are a robot! Hey, can I touch you?
Chie-san, that's a bit impolite. It's hard enough restraining myself already.
You said restrain yourself.
Well, I'm sorry I caused you guys trouble.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that. That Grand Prix was you, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a half bad idea. Fighting to see who's the strongest man was awesome!
What?
Kanji's right, but you should have invited me, too.
Sorry?
I won't forgive you until you say, I really like you, you big bear of a man. All sexy like that.
Guys, stop making it even worse. Sorry we're starting off like this.
In any case, I'm really glad you're all right.
I got you to thank for that.
Great job, Mitsuru. But man, talk about a rowdy bunch of students.
Still, they are kind. Is something the matter?
I'm not good at relying on others. My responsibilities are so heavy that I don't even think of trusting others with them. I've been told it before, but it never gets easy.
Why not think of things more simply? When something cannot be accomplished alone, there is no other choice but to trust in others to help. Good or bad, it is inevitable. Then why not accept it and move forward? You aren't alone either, after all.
You're right. It's not difficult at all when put that way. It's just as I was saying about companionship being a guide. Was Labris truly the mastermind here?
Ooh. Investigation music.
Huh? What are you getting?
I haven't heard that in a minute.
Why did Labris choose them? Where did
I feel like
Labris
we
learn
should
of
be
them?
all sitting around a table at Junes for this, for some reason. I don't know why, but I just feel like when this music plays, that should be what's going on right now.
Even we didn't know about them or about this world inside the TV. How did Labris discover all this?
Yeah, I can't explain it either. Well, the fastest way to find out is to just ask her. Hey, Labris!
Akihiko.
When did you wake up? How did you find out about the TV world?
About this place?
Labris!
Get back!
Is she malfunctioning? No! Someone's hijacked her!
What? I know you're there. Who are you? Show yourself. Show myself? How cold. You treat me as if I were a stranger.
That voice!
No way! Kirijo-san's shadow?
Do you not recognize your own face? I am you. You seem to have a penchant for deception. Unfortunately, I already know that you're the mastermind here. You were after Persona users from the start. That's why you chose this school and tampered with Labris's memories. And you just demonstrated how you controlled those hijackers. Very good. No wonder you managed to drive back a god once. Yes, I want them even more now.
Usually, they say that after you've beaten them once.
You want them? Explain yourself.
Personas and shadows are one and the same. If
Wait, what?
the heart is framed, this one's
Okay.
desire.
Same thing. Poison,
Who are
shadows,
you?
yeah.
Sadly, it seems things won't be going according to plan this time. This is my last chance. Stand, my puppet. You bastard! This form is exhausted from constant battle and will be useless as an asset. But unless you destroy it, it will keep rising up and attacking you all. What will you do?
I'll just knock her out one more time.
No, don't attack her. Further damage to Labrys could put her in danger.
But, come on! She's all over us!
Now, may you suffer and curse your fate. Relinquish your personas. Huh? Don't listen. Everyone, concentrate on avoiding her attacks.
But we can't do that forever!
Just try and hang in there. Trust me. I trust in you.
Everyone, we can take this much. Yosuke, you ready?
Hell yeah, partner. Let's let Mitsuru-san do her thing.
Akihiko, Aigus, back them up.
You got it.
No one will force my sister to hurt others ever again.
You had best hurry and decide. Who will be destroyed? This shell or the lot of you? Sad to say, but this show is over. What? Looks like you made it in the nick of time. You saved us, Yamagishi.
Are you all okay? Fuka-san.
So you had a third assistant.
That voice.
It's just as you thought, Mitsuru-senpai. The enemy is only mimicking your appearance. It's a fake.
Very impressive to guess correctly from such a long distance away. So these are the limits of a half-broken puppet. Well, no matter. This was only ever for my own enjoyment.
We didn't even fight, controlled Labrys here.
You despicable monster! I didn't expect you to fight back this
We'll probably
hard,
at least do
but
the
you
mirror
have
match
fun.
against Mitsuru, but there's a couple of fights here that just don't happen with Mitsuru that happen
You were all
with the other
taken in by
characters.
an illusion.
Maybe there was a
This
couple of extra
place,
fights in the first
these
half of her
traps,
story. I
everything
can't remember.
came from your own
It's been like
minds.
a
You
few
drove
weeks since we went
yourselves,
through the first half of it.
A beautiful plan, wasn't it? Your idea of beauty is rather warped, as is your plan and your assessment of us. But your biggest
I wonder if there's a way to
mistake
do
was that
this,
you took my form in the end.
Do the fights and be able to, or do the stories in an optimal way so you could do most of the stories in one go. Like, not having to stop and then going and doing a bunch of other fights and other stories and then getting the cliffhanger endings. I feel like that would have been maybe a better way to do this, because it would have been nice to see like the stories from start to finish in some cases, all in one go. Although they are fairly long with some of them. Like Mitsuru's story is fairly long in the start. Maybe that's why she doesn't have some of the fights that you do here in the other go-throughs with Akihiko and Aigus.
Are you angry? All right, I'll play along.
Since Mitsuru's story has like a lot of backstory with it at the start, with the formation of like the group and everything.
Don't say another word while wearing that face. I'll teach you just who it is you've made an enemy of!
And again, it says only scene 17. Is there another fight after this?
Finally.
Ooh, blonde Mitsuru.
Fight!
I'm coming for you! I'm coming for you! Won't escape!
Deleted. Okay.
Check. This is fine with me. Good enough for my purposes that I confirmed you have enough power to meet my expectations. This I doubted there'd be any meaning in changing my appearance.
Okay, so this is the same thing
I will see
as
you.
the last couple
real
times.
You will face the same consequences soon. Choose your last words carefully. Yamagishi!
The reading disappeared. It didn't move, it just vanished. What could this mean?
Another guys, huh?
Okay.
Don't worry.
Wait, but
Of course.
but
Guys, let's leave this to them.
You can.
are you?
They're
When Narukami signals to him, Hanamura complaints fall suspiciously silent. That hardly fooled anyone. I don't know, both Aigis and Akihiko seem not to notice the fact that Yu's like, come on guys, we're gonna go and like take our break and then we're gonna go after this guy ourselves. We're not gonna really either they take me for an imbecile or think it won't matter even if I do catch on. I suppose I can live with it. If they're that determined, I can hardly dissuade them. We'll have to take care of everything before they can involve themselves. That's all. Day jumps around, his footsteps sounding highly unnatural to get our attention.
Alrighty, attention please. The trip doesn't end until we get out of the TV.
Dude, we were in the middle of a conversation.
What are you doing with this ancient TV? Hang on, where'd you even get this?
It's a teddy vision. You can get out from here.
How's Labris?
There wasn't much damage to her motor functions. I don't believe it will take much time to repair her. Still, the stress on her cognitive functions must have been severe. It may take some time for her to awaken.
Oh, we haven't seen this scene before of them spending the night at the hotel. Even after we return to the real world, there's no rest for the weary. After action reports on the case, investigating leads on the culprit. Mountain of things to do.
Here you go, Mitsuru-san.
Ah, thank you.
After issuing instructions, I'm ready to take a break. When Aiga serves me a cup of tea with perfect timing. The fresh scent of Darjeeling? Okay. I take a moment to savor the mellow aroma of muscat. That's right. Spring is nearly over. I feel like I can hardly keep track of the seasons anymore.
We will be leaving Inaba tomorrow. Keep that in mind when making preparations.
Understood.
We're rather limited here in this hotel room. Originally, I had intended to return today, but we're all so tired that we had to stay the night. There's also Labris's condition to consider. Still mulling it all over, I hear a knock at the door.
It's me, Fuka.
Come in. I'm sorry I had to summon you on such short notice.
Oh no, it's all right. I was on vacation too, after all.
How is Labris?
She's still resting. There was a lot of stress on her, so we might have to carry her out.
I see.
Yamagishi takes a nearby chair. There's weariness in her eyes.
I looked into the records. Labris was built on a self-contradicting foundation.
Self-contradicting?
Unlike with Aegis, when Labris was being developed, no one had the know-how to create a personality from scratch. So, it seems like they took an actual girl's personality and used it as a base.
A living girl. So that's why her heart is unexpectedly advanced.
Yamagishi nods.
But if she had all of the original girl's memories, a contradiction would occur in her self-awareness. Normally they'd make adjustments to prevent that, but even then, they couldn't guarantee it would be completely safe. That's why Labris was loaded with a self-deceiving function, in case a conflict arose in her self-awareness.
She was deceiving herself? Then the function that interfered with our perception...
It was listed as meant for infiltration, but that was a technicality. Its true purpose was a safety mechanism.
Again, it's nice seeing like all these like little details that you don't get with the other routes. She was given a heart presupposing that it would cause conflicts with her self-awareness. I suddenly begged the heavens for forgiveness at the cruelty and injustice performed upon her.
I think that should be okay now.
hesitant voice comes from outside.
Labras, when did you get here? Sorry to sneak up on you, but after I faced my shadow and learned how to use my persona, it's hard to explain. But it felt like my emotions settled down.
Actually, that may be what happened. Facing one's shadow could be said to be correcting one's self-awareness.
That must be it. Your developers came to the decision that it was an insurmountable problem, yet you overcame it.
Do you have to register new personas or just get them? Looking to fuse Yoshitsune? Not sure about your question entirely. Whenever you get a new persona, the copy that you get first is automatically registered into the compendium. You can manually register any version of that persona back into the compendium if you want to overwrite the old record. If you want to make Yoshitsune, you're going to probably have to fuse a few different things. I believe Yoshitsune... is that a normal fusion, or do you have to use multiple? Like, do you have to use 3 or more? I think that's just a 2 or more. Yeah, I think you only have to use 2 different personas for that one. It's not like a special fusion or anything. So there's quite a few different ways you can do it. But I guess I'm not really sure about the question. About, like, having to register new personas or just get them. Because getting them does automatically register them.
How do you feel? Does anything seem off?
Oh, no. You guys have treated me so well, I feel kind of guilty about it. My body's all fixed up too, so there shouldn't be any problems there.
Okay, cool.
I see.
Iris' expression seems gentle. She appears to be mentally stable. I doubt there's any danger of her losing control again.
I wanted to talk to you about where we go from here.
From here? You mean, about me?
Originally, we planned to take you back to the lab on Yakushima, but that was when we still thought of you as a mere object.
Yeah. When you get the cards, the base, like minimum level version of the persona will be registered. Otherwise, obviously, you can fuse new personas, and whenever you fuse a new persona, the version that you fuse will automatically be registered as well.
Is that what you want to happen?
What else is there?
You could tell us what you yourself want. You do have a heart, just like us. Who knows? Maybe you could even go to school eventually.
Me? Go to school?
Even Igus has been to school, and that was when she knew much less about the world than you know now.
Thinking back to that time is, it's rather embarrassing.
Surprisingly, Labras falls silent in thought. To live a life no different than anyone else's. It must be exactly what she wants. Should I tell her there's no need to worry about living expenses? No, best to wait for her decision. She should be the one to decide on her future. After a long silence, Labras speaks again.
School. It sounds great. But I feel like there's something I gotta do first. I mean, yeah, it's been my dream for a long time to go to school. But someone's after those guys. Someone's trying to wreck their lives. I want to catch whoever it is myself. I want to look after those guys.
Rather than being with them, she chose to protect them. It's a beautifully selfless decision. She thought for herself and chose her own path. I see no reason to deny her that.
The Security Department Shadow Response Unit would be glad to have you. Welcome to the team, Labras.
I extend a hand. If she takes it, she'll be putting ordinary life on hold for a while. I know she understands that, but she takes it anyway.
I get to work with you, sister. I guess that reminds me. I am your younger sister, but I am more experienced than you. This may be somewhat confusing.
The two sisters are a bit awkward around each other now. A new bond will form there as well. Labras made her own choice not to live an ordinary life. You could say that she's truly facing herself. She'll be alright. Seeing the two of them together makes me sure of it.
I'll give you a tour of the lab tomorrow. Make sure you're ready to write things down.
Tomorrow? We're leaving Inaba already? I haven't even said goodbye. I can't leave without seeing him one more time.
Oh, that's good to hear. It means you've made some friends.
Friends.
I turned to Aegis.
Aegis, get in contact with them by whatever means you deem necessary.
Understood.
Oh, that's why she looked us up in the Kirijo records. Because that's when she, like, called Yusuke, and he's like, how'd you get my number? The Kirijo group has many ways.
How should I contact them? I only know their names.
Yamagishi, your usual method should prove effective once again.
Huh? But isn't that invading their privacy?
Permission granted. Remember, we have official sanction to operate now.
And after how they acted when we were parting, we'll definitely need their contact information. They won't quietly sit by. Of that, I'm sure. This matter is still open, after all. The mystery remains unsolved, and there's still worries nagging at me. That's not the only legacy of this case.
I'll help look him up too.
Labras breaks into a smile and takes Aegis aside at the computer. The bonds that gave her that smile, they will light our unseen path. There's no knowing yet where this case might lead. The day that we stop it in our tracks, too afraid to continue, will never come. Okay. It's a nice ending. Alright. Let's get through Naoto a minute. How are we doing on time? We're doing okay. I think we can at least get through Naoto. And then if we have to, we'll do Kanji on Thursday. As well as finishing out you and Elizabeth. Although Elizabeth's is her whole thing. We haven't started it at all. Unlike these, which are like the cliffhanger endings. But I hear Elizabeth is fairly short, so there's not a ton of talking for her, unlike the others. So, yeah. And then once we finish out this, we'll start on Ultimax's story, which is over here. Which, there's a lot of that too. I don't think it's technically as much as, or at least this one episode P4 thing is not as much as Arena's, but there's also episode P3 that unlocks after you get through this. It seems. I think. This is half of it anyway. Yeah. Anyway, for now, let's do Naoto. And episode Adachi. Right. Yep, that too. So. Oh, hello.
Look out!
I see something glimmer in front of me. Acting purely on instinct, I ducked instantly. A low whizzing sound passes above my head. What was that? Did something get thrown my way?
Naoto-kun!
Risa-san turns towards me. I look at her from across the room. It was probably, the axe, right? She's crouched down next to something on the ground. On closer inspection, the red and white lump. She's nearest Teddy. Red and white lump. I see General Teddy in the back of the room. So the one with Rise-san has to be the real one. Oh, we're still doing the General Teddy stuff here? Okay. A girl is standing between Teddy and the General. I've never seen her before, but looking at her mechanical body, I can tell who she is. That's Labras.
What should we do? That girl wasn't normal. She wasn't even human. I know it sounds hard to believe, but she's a robot or something. She defeated Teddy and,
Calm down. Are you talking about Labras?
Though Rise-san is still quite shaken, she still nods.
The riddle is solved then. You're not the real Teddy. You're only a shadow taking his form. The shadow of Labras here, to be precise.
Aha! No wonder they
back
call
when
you
this
the
was a
detective
revelation.
Prince now, Chan. You cracked the case. But even if you figured it out, there's still nothing you can do.
What?
There's a droning sound. It's a giant axe flying at me. The axe is bigger than I am, spinning through the air towards me. Like a boomerang, it curves back and returns to the hand of its wielder. There are thrusters behind the blade, allowing the axe to fly as it spins. It wasn't General Teddy attacking me. It was Labras. Not the shadow, but the real one. What's going on? Wait, did she attack me the first time too? That would explain why Rise-san is so shaken up. But if the shadow's right in front of her, why is she going after me?
It's not true. I'm human. This is all just a bad dream. I gotta destroy everything.
I'm human.
Can't find any meaning in what she's trying to say. I want to convince her to stop, but I can't come up with the right words to do so. Labrys takes a fighting stance without wasting a moment. It looks like the only way to stop Labrys is to bring her to normal as a fighter.
Rise-san, please stay back.
Naoto-kun?
Never really expected to be able to convince her in the first place, with a shadow here. I bite the bullet. Oh,
I
not
will
literally.
Stop her, no matter what.
Okay. I guess back to the top. And it's already 9/3, huh? The date, I mean. We're already about, like, 3/4 of the way through the year.
Finally.
Great to think about.
Okay.
Another year. Almost over. I feel like so much happens in here and still very little at all. Weird. Do you not knock people up with Naoto? With her,
Okay. Okay.
I was trying to knock her up with, an all attack, but I guess maybe her...
Aw, she
I didn't
beat
hit
you
it quick
fair and
enough?
square. You really are useless, Labby-chan.
Your whole reason for being is to fight. And you can't even do that. You're not worth a damn. You don't need to exist anymore.
Oh, we haven't seen this cutscene in forever. Interesting. With the same lights that they use when Labrys awakens her persona as well.
I am a shadow. The true self.
That's my face.
Huh. You don't want to remember? Fine. You can die like that.
Stop it!
What's this? Why are you protecting her? It's her fault you all had to fight each other, you know. You want the everyday boys and girls to experience what you had to go through, right? That's why we're in a school having a fighting tournament?
That ain't... My home was a horrible place. They made us fight and kill each other just to collect combat data.
It's different.
It hurts so much, but no one understands. How can I make
Bit
them
of an
see?
expansion on some of the dialogue we've seen in other routes.
Force friends to fight each other. Maybe then they'll understand.
No. I wanna make them understand.
That ain't true. That's not what I want.
Oh, yeah? Then let me take over from here. I'll destroy everyone who pretends to understand, just like you did before.
Stop! I've had enough.
Labrys!
No! You're not me!
No! You said it! You finally said it!
The power. I can feel it building.
Yes! The power!
Wait, they're really speedrunning all the cutscenes in this route, aren't they? We've had, I think, what, 2 cutscenes in one conversation section?
Rise-san, you watch Labrys
And I think there
Teddy.
should be another one after this fight in
I
the
got
next
luck,
conversation
Naoto-kun.
section as well.
Yes, I'll save her.
Okay. So, where does the P3 people come into this? Maybe they don't as much?
Finally.
Because we already kind of saw them with Naoto's storyline, if I remember correctly, since she was already connected to them. And kind of the intro to them from the P4 side. Like, I think you had to go through Naoto's storyline, if I remember correctly, to unlock the original P3 stuff. It'll probably be a little bit different than here.
Are you all right?
Because I think we saw both Aigis and Mitsuru as part of, like, Naoto's arc, like, as part of her story already. So, they're still locked behind invisible walls. I guess maybe Akihiko could show up, but...
I didn't have the chance to introduce myself. I'm Naoto Shirogane. You're Labrys, is that correct? I can't claim to understand your pain. It was only today that I learned you existed, to say nothing of the weapons program from which you sprung. But there is one thing I do understand. Look carefully at me. Do I seem like a man or a woman to you?
What do you mean?
You and I are alike. There is such a gulf between what we yearn to be and what we are that we have trouble accepting our true nature.
Our true nature?
Just as I cannot break the glass ceiling of my profession, you cannot become human. That is the painful truth. But if we were able to change, would that truly bring us happiness? I feel there is something only you or I can offer, because of who we really are.
I don't think that translation is accurate. That glass ceiling line, that's definitely something that the translator inserted into that. Because that's a colloquialism or phrase that a Japanese writer wouldn't have used. And it also does not line up with the overall tone of the rest of the conversation. Yeah, that glass ceiling thing is definitely something that was inserted by the translator. At a guess, based on the context, I would probably... What would I put? What is this probably actually? Just as I cannot become a man, you cannot become human. That's the painful truth. That's probably what the original line was. Just as I cannot become a man, you cannot become a human. That's the painful truth. That's probably what the original line was, and the translator didn't like that line, and so they changed it. There's a decent chance that that's what happened. I would not be surprised on that, actually. I'm not sure, but, like, based off the context and the fact that it definitely was not, I cannot break the glass ceiling of my profession originally, that's definitely not what was in the original Japanese. However you feel about it, I guarantee you the original, like, intent of the line was something along the lines of, I can't become a man, you can't become a human, that's the painful truth. Because, like, look at the next exact line. What does them not being able to change who they are have to do with breaking the glass ceiling? Like, that's the other thing about this. Like, by changing the, like, meaning of one line and not, like, accounting for this in, like, every other line past this, because it wasn't the original intent of the line, it becomes really obvious that this was changed just because the person didn't like the idea that, like, Naoto was saying, hey, I can't, as much as I want to be like the manly detective, I can't really become a man, you know? They didn't like that, so they changed it. Also, breaking the glass ceiling of my profession. Okay, whatever. Alright, whatever. Anyway, it's just annoying. And something that's, like, really obvious, where they tried to change the translation because they didn't like what was being said. Yeah.
There's something a machine like me can offer? Even if there is something like that, there's no place I belong.
It's so dumb, too. Sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent, I know. It's just dumb to me, because, like, just because a character says something doesn't mean you have to agree with it. Like, presumably we don't agree with all the villain stuff, right? We can still translate their ramblings or their, like, saying things that you don't agree with. Literally, Hitler is like a villain in Persona 2. I don't think the writers agreed with his philosophy. I think they just wanted a villain. I don't think the translators who translated what he says agreed with him either. Okay.
That's not true. I'm not human either, but I work at Juness. The part-time ladies give me sweets sometimes and everything.
The heart is always lacking something. It may be that you and I will be troubled by this same thing for the rest of our lives. But please don't forget that you're not alone anymore.
I'm not alone.
Don't worry. You're not alone.
That's right. I'll stick to you like glue.
And it won't be just us. I'm sure you'll make lots of friends with everyone in town.
Really? A machine? Like me? They said it's okay to be me. Doesn't that make you happy too? I'm so sorry I locked you up inside me for all that time. But we'll be okay now. I'm not alone. And you're not either, right? I'm sorry I ignored you all this time. I was the one who left you all alone. No, you are me after all. This is my persona.
Labras, there are some people from the Kirijo group here looking for you.
I wonder if they'll stick me back in that box again. Of course they will. After all, I caused a lot of trouble. What else are they gonna do?
I can't say anything about that for certain, but you should talk with them. It's your right to be where you belong.
Yeah, you're right.
Is everyone all right?
Whoa, Senpai! You're back from the city already?
Never mind him, Kanji-kun. What about you? What have you been doing all this time?
Yo, Naoto. Guess you made the big meetup after all, huh? I swear, we're tied together by fate or something. Actually, is that the real you, Teddy?
You're so blind sometimes, Yosuke.
Rise-chan, I'm so glad you're safe. Senpai, you're all here.
You must be Labris. I'm Mitsuru Kirijo. You may have heard already, but I came to collect you.
I don't want to go back in that box. Or to that lab.
Mitsuru-san, I'd like to ask that you consider her request. Labris's, my sister's abilities, will surely be useful to us. Please, can't we enlist her on a trial basis and see what happens?
You're a robot too.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Aegis, the 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. I'm your successor, sister.
We're sisters?
I'd like to third their request. I'm well aware that I'm in no place to make demands on you, but...
I'm starting to feel like the bad guy. There's no need to worry. I wasn't thinking of sealing you away again.
Really?
You've awakened to your persona and gained control over it. True. I don't know for sure that the danger is past, but I don't feel that you need to be sealed off from humanity, particularly since it's obvious that you have a heart.
Kirijo-san.
Labby-chan doesn't need to be all alone anywhere? Yay!
Naoto, sorry to interrupt, but who are these people?
They kinda look like a bunch of freaks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, one of them's not even human.
I guess she's a robot?
Huh? Wait a sec. Kirijo? As in the Kirijo group? Wait, what? What's going on here?
All my friends begin to look at me, the only one who knows everything. Where do I start? More importantly, how much should I disclose? By the way, it looks like it's going to be a long explanation. First, though, I suggest that we change locations. It's important to share information, but it's imperative we all get out of here safely. That's right, it's the place that we used as an entrance lobby to the TV world last year. It disappeared once, but it must have reappeared when Labris entered this world and created this school here. You guys told me that the Midnight Channel aired again. Whoever watched the broadcast must have associated it with last year's airings. That explains why it looks exactly the same. At any rate, it looks like we'll be able to exit here in one piece. As a sign of relief, Kirijo-san turns to us.
I should introduce myself to the rest of you. I am Mitsuru Kirijo. I cannot tell you who I am affiliated with or my position, but I bear all responsibility for Labris. This case, the whole disturbance was mainly due to us. I'm very sorry for putting you in such danger.
How do you know Mitsuru-san, Naoto-kun?
That's... well...
Shirogane was working with us. Since it was our first time in this world, he helped us safely reach Labris.
So, the job you had was to bring Mitsuru-san and the others here?
Huh? Well...
That was basically it. I'm sorry, but there are some things he cannot disclose. I ask for your understanding in that regard.
Oh. I do wonder about that. Now that we've seen that they were willing to change one thing with Naoto's story, with the glass ceiling thing, I do wonder if they change other things with Naoto's dialogue. It is very possible. People could get a little touchy when it comes to Naoto.
Sure, detective stuff. I getcha. That's pretty cool.
I really am no match for her.
Well then, let's all go home. Alrighty, attention please. The trip doesn't end until we get out of the TV.
Dude, you really gave us a scare. And this isn't the first time either. Well, at least it ended well.
You know, I understand about Rise-chan and Teddy, but why did Kanji-kun go missing again?
Huh? Oh, well, because,
You needed a change of pace, no?
What?
Did I misspeak? You said something like, sometimes a man just wants to be alone inside a TV.
As if...
Alto, you bastard! Why'd you have to tell him that?
Labrys laughs at our small talk. Looking at her, I begin to feel this episode wasn't so bad after all. Suddenly, Labrys' smile disappears and her body freezes in a natural position.
Labrys?
Labrys doesn't answer me. Sonata-san shouts a warning.
Get away from her!
What's going on?
I don't know. I can only tell that she's probably being controlled from outside.
Shirogane!
The warning comes at the same instant as the attack. I can feel the wind of the axe passage and I bend backwards to dodge the blow. If she'd gone after anyone else, things might not have been so fortunate. I'm the only one who's actually seen that attack before. But Labrys follows up with something different.
Labrys, why? Never mind, it can wait.
Okay, so we're just fighting her, like, normal, with the other P4 characters. I guess there's no point in bringing up the whole, like, Shadow Self again. Since we've already gone through that with, the P4 characters for the most part. Looks like it's gonna follow along the same lines as the other P4 characters.
Finally.
When it comes to this, like, last section. I wonder if the, section with being taunted will be any different. That's new. Some sort of landmine?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Sister, are you all right?
My, to think she'd fall so easily. I hope that she'd provide more entertainment.
Oh, so we do get
What a
Naoto
disappointment.
Shadow, okay.
Naoto-kun's shadow? Why?
I thought you disappeared.
Who are you? Once you've gained your persona, you're not supposed to see your shadow again. That's what you thought, isn't it? Did you really think I had gone away? Well, too bad. Man cannot let go so easily of his weakness. I'm always with you.
No, this can't be happening.
Enough farce. You are not my shadow.
I walk towards the copy of me, the real enemy.
I know that for two reasons. First, I was able to use my persona in the battle just now. One's persona and shadow are two sides of a coin. If you are my shadow, my persona should have been unusable. Second, you took control of Labrys just now. That's an unusual power far beyond the capabilities of a human like myself. I'm sorry to say you've dug yourself a deeper hole by showing off that ability. With a power like that, you could drive a man to extreme acts, which was the missing piece in this case.
You mean the hijacking wasn't just the work of a highly motivated crew. Rather, whoever we're talking to now was...
It was Labrys' dark wish that we fight each other. But what if someone knew beforehand that that would happen? Labrys has a heart, but she's also a machine. Unlike humans, her memories can be tampered with. By using Labrys, you thought you could orchestrate the disturbance her shadow would create in this world. Your objective is, as you just said, to gather persona users, have them fight, disrupt their hearts, and steal their personas. That's why you're appearing in the form of my shadow right now, to confuse me. You're the real puppet master behind this case. I'm surprised. Very insightful of you, Naoto Shirogane. Quite impressive work. I didn't expect you to fight back this fiercely. Sadly, it seems things won't be going according to plan this time. But I'll make use of what tools I have to the very end. This is my last chance. No, more like a marvelous entertainment. Now stand, my puppet. Poor thing. It's all worn out because of you. It shouldn't have much strength left to fight. But unless you destroy it, it will keep rising up and attacking you all. What will you do?
Labrys has pointed her axe at me again for the second time. No, a third time. Rather than caution, I feel sympathy. The forced killing of comrades against one's will? I see now. This is the past her shadow had talked about.
Shirogane, you need to stand back!
Kira steps in front of me.
Wait, if we all attack her, we may end up destroying Labrys. But she's just under its control. If we can release her, she should stop attacking.
I glance over at Rise-san.
Is that possible? All right, I'll give it a try.
Perhaps Rise-san's persona was powerful enough to do it. I think it's worth trying. However...
It's no use. What is that thing? It's not a shadow. It's way too strong.
I had a feeling things wouldn't be so easy. Out of options, Kirijo-san signals Aiga-san with a troubled look on her face.
Aigus, prepare for the worst.
Aiga-san opens her eyes in shock, a look of astonishment. Not the good kind. But she quickly regains her composure and begins readying her weapons. She slowly aims them at Labrys. Realizing what was happening, Rise-san hastily interjects.
Oh, wait, let me try again.
But Aiga-san pays her no heed. Labrys is in her sights. She looks calm, but it hurts just to see her expression. That's only natural. I called Labrys her sister.
Good. Now suffer. Relinquish your personas.
At that very moment, Kirijo-san suddenly looks up. She closes her eyes. She gathers her strength as she had when she tried to establish a line of communication with her own persona. But who's she trying to reach?
I see. Now! What?
What the heck was that?
I don't know. I was getting desperate, too. It seemed like something far away stepped in.
This can't be!
It's just as we thought. The enemy is taking on your appearance and has no connection to you. Feel free to cut loose.
Interesting. We don't see any of Fuka here. I guess it's kind of like set up. If you were playing this in the same order as you went through the first time, maybe I should have done that, but whatever. Then you wouldn't know that Fuka was the one who did that here. So it'd be kind of a reveal when you get to the other characters.
I want to ask before I fight. What now? Why did you choose me? Of all the persona users here, why did you use my face? Is that all? Of course I chose you. You were the most unstable of the lot. Never quite sure whether to call yourself a man or a woman. Your indecisiveness made you the perfect prey. There's actually something I've been curious to know all this time. Last year, when my real shadow went berserk, I was forced to the sidelines. It left me wondering whether I could have overcome that other me on my own. This is the perfect chance to find out. I won't hold back an inch.
Okay. Mirror fight time. I like the drawn head portraits for all the shadow versions as well. That's kind of nice. Although I'm sure I'll get to see plenty of those when we get to the Ultimax. I got excited there for a little bit. Not gonna lie, when I heard the sound effect earlier, it sounded more like an arrow to me. So I thought maybe we'd see Yukari with her new design here. For whatever reason in this timeline. But no, just Fuka again. Just kind of hiding it so it's a surprise when you get to the P3 cast.
You did it! You're so cool now, Chan!
I can't believe you could go that nuts on something that looked like you.
It may have taken my shape, but it wasn't me. I had no reason to relent.
You'll be coming with us. There are some things we still want to ask you.
This is fine with me. There were many twists and turns along the way, but I'm not displeased with the results. It was good enough for this time that I confirmed you have the power to meet my expectations. This time, this is only a temporary form. I doubted there'd be any meaning in changing my appearance, but sure enough, it made for a very enjoyable game. I will see you in another guise next time. Just wait until then.
Wait!
Hell no! Don't you dare come back again!
Yeah, what he said!
Seriously, that was one sick bastard.
Copying Now-chan was going too far. Bad enough that it was in violation of my image rights, taking my form like that.
I wonder if this is the start of something bigger.
Yeah, I don't think we should let our guard down.
My analysis didn't make it in time, but that was...
It's hard to believe. Then again, in any case, you don't have to worry about it. It's our responsibility from here on out.
But it was obviously targeting us. We can't shrug and go on our way after that.
He's correct. Given that it's taken an interest in us, we must arm ourselves against it.
Of course, you should be aware that the enemy is out there, but there is no need to abandon your lives to pursue it. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. That is, after all, our duty.
I can sense she's completely sincere. We all trade glances, but we eventually concede with our leader's opinion. We'll agree to Kirito-san's offer. There's still some lingering regrets, but we have little choice now. Seeing that everything is settled, Teddy butts in and strikes a strange pose.
What are you doing with this ancient TV? Hang on, where'd you even get this?
It's a teddy
This TV is our escape route? Can we...
Ooh,
You're even worse than before.
Okay. Saw that dialogue before.
I'm really sorry for causing you guys so much trouble.
I wonder if the long limousine thing is also partially a reference to the fact that P4's Velvet Room was a long limousine as well.
What are you saying? I had a blast meeting you, Labby-chan.
Been wondering about that. That's probably what it is.
Likewise. But I can't believe you didn't notice at all that Kirijo-san was searching high and low for you. You're so thick.
The interior design also seems to be somewhat similar to the interior design of the Velvet Room in that game as well. Although I guess that would make sense, because it's a long limousine.
Mysterious.
Same thing.
I wouldn't hesitate to answer the call of such a beautiful woman. It must have been because I was having so much fun talking with Labby-chan.
She never gives it a rest. So, what are you gonna do now, Labris?
If you need help, we don't mind sheltering you. Yukiko's house is a great hideout.
Thanks. But I'm planning on working with Mitsuru-san. We're gonna catch the scumbag who tried to use you guys. This time, it'll be me that's got your backs.
Sounds promising.
It sounds as though you found a place where you belong then.
Sure enough.
Come back anytime to hang out, okay? We'll be here for you.
Okay. Thanks, you guys.
I confess, I had known about the existence of the Shadow Operatives from the start.
As I thought. Well, considering what we've both been through, there's no need to keep it hidden from you anymore.
Why are you taking the lead even if it risks your life? A woman in your position needn't.
A great many people were hurt because of mistakes the Kirijo group made in the past. I won't let it happen again. To leave behind nothing that could jeopardize the future. That's my mission. More than that, it's a vow I made.
I feel like she's speaking to someone else. Someone who's not here to hear her. Then she nods to me. The sincerity in her eyes is all the confirmation I need. In my line of business, you rarely come across people who actually speak what they mean. People I would call noble. She's one of the few. Her eyes show trust in me, and that makes me proud to know her.
You've been a real help. About the next step, though, I doubt you'll back down that easily.
Who knows? It's not my decision to make.
I give a casual reply, and Kirijo-san shakes her head with a smile.
I understand that nothing I say can dissuade you, but I want you to be cautious.
Her expression turns serious. This is likely a personal warning about the investigation I've been conducting on her.
Of course, there are those within the Kirijo group who don't think as I do. There are no doubt a lot of dark secrets to be unearthed. The current Kirijo group has drifted away from the family businesses. I am only the founding family's daughter, not the strongest position.
What an odd warning. It's as if you're showing compassion to your enemy. Well, I too personally hope you find success. You be careful too, Kirijo-san.
Just call me Mitsuru.
Of course, Mitsuru-san. Well, until next time.
Car soon departs in the direction of the highway. We watch as Labras waves from the window, believing that one day we'll meet again. After seeing them off, we head to the food court at Juness. It's been a bit delayed, but it's time for Yu Senpai's welcome back party. The last few days have been full of trouble, but I can't help but feel that some sort of fate has brought us together in the end. Soon the topic at hand changes to what Yu Senpai had said. We should reform the investigation team. Just as Mitsuru-san had predicted, it was the only natural reaction to what we had just been through. Not a single of us objects to the idea, and we all talk about our plans to continue. By the time we split up and arrive home, it was close to midnight. But I sat at my desk and turned on my computer so that I may compile my report on the investigation.
What follows are my impressions of the organization called the Shadow Operatives, as well as their leader, Mitsuru Kirijo. As a member of the Kirijo group's founding family, Mitsuru Kirijo strongly wishes for the corporation's stigma to be cleared. Yet the Shadow Operatives are not ultimately a means for her to clear this stigma. Her first priority is to protect and save those who are at risk. The way she handled the lost cargo in this case made that much clear. Though discarding it would have been more advantageous and it would have been simple to destroy in secret, she chose not to do so. She sees the restoration of the family honor as a byproduct of her true mission. I will continue my secret investigation. It is apparent that the Kirijo group still harbors many dark secrets. Yet I must note that no matter how their internal affairs are worth watching, we need not trouble ourselves overseeing Shadow Operatives. Mitsuru Kirijo does not shrink from the responsibilities she bears. We will never gain leverage over her based on her family's sins. Even if the true culprit behind this matter has ties to the Kirijo group, she will...
I stopped typing and delete the last sentence.
No, this report is no place for conjecture. I suspect this is only the beginning.
Okay. It is fun seeing Naoto with her hair down and without the cap. She is quite cute. When she wants to be. Alright. Oh boy. I think that is enough for today. So we still got Kanji, you, and Elizabeth. So I think we'll do those three on Thursday. And then, like I said, we'll be through the story of Arena. And we can start on Ultimax next week. That'll be good. Start on Ultimax, and we'll start on... I guess we'll, at that point, we'll also be playing P3R, right? Because this weekend we should be able to finish up Yakuza. So, yeah, next week we'll start on Ultimax's story, and we'll start on the DLC for episode I, guess. So, yep. Lots of Persona on the channel. And that'll be good. I mean, the reason I originally picked playing the fighting game around this time was because I was like, should have at least some Persona SMT on the channel, so. It's a bit longer story-wise than I thought it would be, for sure. But it's been fun. There's no rush on it or anything. I'll have to think about what to play after this, though. Maybe I'll do a poll for Tuesday, Thursday streams? I feel like I haven't done that in a while, but maybe I have. I can't remember. I'll have to think about that. Either way, I will hopefully see you guys on Thursday for finishing up the Arena storyline. If not, maybe I'll see you this weekend for finishing up Yakuza 0. If not then, maybe I'll see you next week for starting Ultimax or the episode I guess DLC. So, yeah. Keep chugging along. The days keep going by. Hours keep going by. All the time keeps ticking. So yeah. I will hopefully see you guys soon. Thanks for hanging out, Jeppo. Moondragon. Anybody lurking or watching back on the VOD? I think Lorenzo. Yep, Lorenzo was here earlier. I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day and everything. Hopefully see you Thursday. But, in case I don't see you guys, hope you have a good afternoon, good evening, good night. See ya!